What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the LG V60 for going into 2023, and this phone sparked my memory again because we just got a security patch. So we're on November 1st security patch. This phone has been getting security patches more than some of my other older flagship phones, like from OnePlus and stuff like that. It's just really impressive. So this leads me to believe that we will most definitely get the Android 13 update, just like we got the Android 12 update. So LG did promise before the mobile department closed down that they will update their latest flagships, and they did deliver with the Android 12. And it looks like, since they're still, serving out security patches, that it will very much get the Android 13. So just like last year, we'll be anticipating that. So the LG V60 you can actually pick up brand new on eBay for $184. That's for a Verizon. And then the one that I got has come down in price substantially. This T-Mobile version is $159. And as you can see, I would get it from this seller because he does a really great job. And yeah, so I absolutely love this phone. It's extremely cheap. And let's see if the dual screen case has come down in price at all. Dual screen case. Let's see, because a lot of people ask about it. You can get it on eBay. Yeah, so still roughly around $100, $89. So yeah, if you want to get that dual screen case attachment, you can also do that too and turn this phone into a beast of an experience. So this phone is honestly extremely unique. One, because it's super cheap. Two, because you get the dual screen case, and this phone also has pen support as well too. And this phone also has a headphone jack, and it's got a lot going for it, and SD card support. It's just really awesome for the price. I try to let people know about this phone. And again, a lot of people, they don't want to buy a phone that, the department is closed down, but the phone is still 100% usable. And like I said, it has potential to get Android 13. It's very likely as well too. So let's go over the build quality of the V60 here. It's a really nice design. I really love the classy blue color on here as well. And it just feels like a tank. It's IP68 dust and water resistant. It's a very big phone as well too. And I just absolutely love the build quality. It feels very solid. You do have the headphone jack down there with the quad DAC, which you don't see a lot these days. A few phones have them, but not a lot of flagships do these days. And yeah, it just feels overall very solid all around here. So the display on the V60 is a very nice display. It's a very high quality panel. So even though the panel is not, it's not a 120 hertz, it's not a 1440p display, but it still looks really, really good. So it's a POLED display. It's HDR10 plus, and then it is also, 1080p panel, 395 for the PPI. So it's a very sharp screen here, and I absolutely love it. I think anybody would be really happy with this phone with the display, because watching content, and also you can attach the dual screen case and turn it into two phones essentially. So if you're a power user, being able to play Subway Surf and probably like have something else like watch your stocks or whatever on another screen is just really awesome. So yeah, that experience is just extremely unique as well. So the display on here is really nice, and it's a very smooth 60 hertz display. I want to throw that in there as well. It's a very smooth 60 hertz display. So that's why when they put the phone out and it didn't have 90 hertz or 120 hertz, I wasn't a big deal once I got my hand on it, because it is definitely a very smooth display, and the Android 12 update actually made it more smooth as well. Now, the reason I say that this is such a unique experience is because of the gaming experience on the LG V60. So I'll show you guys the Geekbench scores here, and I did a full gaming test if you guys want to check that out. But this phone does a pretty good job on Geekbench. You can see Android 12, and it's got the Snapdragon 865 chip on here, micro SD card support, 128 gigs of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM. There's a 256 gig version. This plays games really well. It played pretty much any game that I threw at it really well. I didn't have any type of heating problems at all. And like I said, the unique experience with this is that you can have the dual screen case, and then some games are compatible like PUBG, Asphalt, with the dual screen case. So you're going to get a very unique and very cool experience. So definitely highly recommend that. But in general, if you don't want to do that, it's still an excellent gaming phone. Play PUBG, HDR Extreme, Call of Duty, great settings. So overall, it is really, really nice, especially when it's accompanied by this massive display. Let's talk about some more additional features like the dual screen, or not the dual screen, but the dual speakers. Very good speakers at max volume. You're getting great bass quality. You can really feel it on the table. And also just really good clean audio here. And to accompany that with a quad DAC, when you plug your headphones in, a nice pair of headphones, you get amazing audio with this phone as well too. That's why I say I always highly recommend this phone. Even if you're too scared to use it as a main phone for whatever reason, I would pick this up. Like, I'm gonna take this phone to CES with me as well too. So yeah, that's how much I really like this phone, guys. Also, let's talk about the fingerprint scanner. Now, the fingerprint scanner was worked on a little bit with the Android 12 update. It's not like the fastest one because it's optical. So just like with the Pixel phones, it feels pretty much on par with that. It does work. But my only issue with this phone is that I wish LG would have included the face unlock. It's something that I've always liked in any phone. Having two methods of, the security to get in your phone. Something that I really like personally. So I do want to go ahead and touch on the cameras because I thought that was a really good, thing that they did on here was they put some really great cameras on this phone. And I did a lot of comparisons with this phone. I compared it to the S22 Ultra, the iPhone 14 Pro. If you guys want to check that out, check out those side-by-side stills. The V60 still does a great job. It still takes really great shots, very natural color science on the V60 as well too. It takes great selfies. The ultra wide is pretty close to the main lens in terms of quality. It does a good job with zoom. It's got a 64 megapixel standard, a 13 megapixel ultra wide, and a 0.3 depth sensor. It shoots in 8K 30 as well, and then a 10 megapixel selfie cam. Also shoots in 4K 30. And like I said, you get some great shots, some great video with this phone still. I think it's still very competitive with some of the latest flagships. And yeah, I absolutely love the cameras on here. I think they're great. Especially at this price point, you really have nothing to complain about. You're getting high quality shots. Now let's talk about the battery life with the V60. This phone has very impressive battery life here. So you got a 5,000 milliamp battery, and if you don't use the dual screen case, and I've heard and seen videos, even if you do use the dual screen case, you still get pretty good battery life with this phone. And like I said, this phone does excellent job with standby time. It is absolutely crazy. It beats a lot of flagship phones in standby time, which is really important to me because sometimes if I'm using other phones, right, and I just leave the phone, sitting, they'll die and then I have to charge them up. This is one of those phones I could leave for a very long time and the battery won't drain. So battery life, definitely all day battery life, which is awesome. And it's probably mostly due to the lack of 120 hertz and the lack of 1440p and stuff like that. But man, are you still getting some great battery life? Because I bring that up, but the screen still looks great to me. And V60 people in the comments, if you've had a 1440p display and a 1080 in this screen right here, let me know, is it such a big difference? Because I'm looking at this screen and it still looks great, because that's one of the main questions I get. I think it's still a phenomenal screen. So let me know in the comments. I know a lot of you guys own this phone. How do you guys feel about the screen on here? That is the main, a lot of questions. I can't talk. That is a question that I get a lot. I think the screen looks phenomenal for 1080p with this PPI. I still think it looks great. So battery life is great. You have wireless charging on here as well too. And yeah, it's just a great phone in general. So be sure to let me know, what do you guys think about the V60? Would you guys pick one of these up? Why? And I'll let you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.